Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Pleading Guilty, the infamous underwear bomber who tried to blow up a commercial flight leaving Detroit, is pleading guilty and says that the U.S. should be warned, according to Fox News. You may remember Nigerian Umar Farouk Abdul-Muttalib, the 25-year-old man that badly burned himself trying to activate an explosive in his underwear, who told the FBI that he was working for Al-Qaeda in Yemen. He testified in the Detroit courtroom the explosive was a, quote, blessed weapon to save the lives of innocent Muslims. And his last words as he left the courtroom were, Allah Akbar. The perpetrator is said to have been recruited by recently killed Al-Qaeda target Anwar al-Awlaki. On our soil, the recent foiled plot to end the life of the Saudi Arabian ambassador to America and blow up the Israeli and Saudi Arabian embassies in Washington, D.C. is being called a jihadist act of war in the Senate and in the media. Blaze.com reports Republican Senator Mark Kirk of Illinois said all but 8 senators have signed a letter asking the Obama administration to target the country's central bank, which he says would make Iranian currency all but unmanageable. Media outlets all over the country are also calling this an act of war, but the Blaze.com points out that, given the Obama administration's tendency to pursue criminal persecution of terrorists rather than try them in military tribunals, the likelihood of military action is small. On the warpath, Kathleen Sebelius, Secretary of Health and Human Services, declared war on pro-life efforts last week at a NARAL pro-choice luncheon, and now she seems to be following through with her threats. The Catholic group, Migration and Refugee Services, is being declined a grant by HHS that it was originally given under the Bush administration, but the government department is refusing to comment on whether or not it is because the Catholic nonprofit refuses to include so-called reproductive health in their services. According to Bloomberg, Sister Mary Ann Walsh, a spokesperson for the USCCB, says, quote, "We hope our religious beliefs didn't come into play. Abortion politics will not find homes for minors being sold into sex slavery," end quote. Migration and Refugee Services has helped over 2,700 victims of human trafficking since they were awarded their grant contract in 2006. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
United Nations pressures Ireland. After being ordered to legalize abortion by the United Nations, the Irish government is responding by saying it will reject any recommendations attacking Ireland's pro-life laws after a weak initial response from its Minister of Justice. At a recent major UN hearing, the Minister for Justice, Alan Shatter, was called upon by other countries, including Spain and Britain, to allow abortion when the mother's life is in danger, while Denmark went as far as calling for abortion on demand. Shatter said during the confrontation at the UN that the Irish Supreme Court already allows abortion under such circumstances, and went on to say Ireland would address the issue and meet their obligations under the Convention of Human Rights. His statement was immediately slammed by pro-lifers, of which one group says, quote, "Minister Shatter did not refer to the fact that the majority of Irish people oppose abortion, and that the people, rather than the European Court, decide Ireland's pro-life laws," end quote. School choice. It seems that Pennsylvania may be taking a leaf out of Indiana's book, as the governor announces a new voucher program that will help students transfer out of public schools and into the private school of their choice. The Catholic News Agency says Governor Tom Corbett signed the program into law, increasing the local educational improvement tax program to allow children who rank academically in the bottom 5% of public schools to transfer to a preferred private school. There are other ways students can apply for the program as well, and the new law will also allow the state to give charters to schools. Catholic schools in states that have choice programs similar to this one and the one in Indiana have seen spikes in enrollment because of their superior quality of education compared to public institutions. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex today, where Michael talks about Protestantism in the light of ironic criticism. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.